Hey team, hello, Kat Miller here. Hope you're doing awesome. I'm sharing in this video tonight 7 fatal mistakes that can really take you out of the content game. It can stop people looking at your content, reading your content, or watching your videos. And I'm so excited to share this with you because this can be a game changer for you. If you get this right, if you stop making even one of these mistakes, this could make a big difference in people landing on your content, grabbing attention, maintaining attention all the way through, and then moving along what I call the client journey, which is the journey people take from coming across your content, whether that's a video, an email, a post, anywhere that you show up and give written or spoken content, that person being nurtured and moving along the journey. And if they're the right fit, becoming a client. If you're not getting people reaching out to you from your content, if your content isn't leading to clients, then these 7 mistakes could be something that you can fix up straight away so that people make that transition. The right people, right? Not just anyone, but the right people, the people that you know that you can serve, that you're here to help. We want to make sure that your content is leading them, the right people, to wanting to work with you. We want to see your numbers growing, yes, but we also, most importantly, we want you to get conversion. We want people to convert from content into clients. So many people tell me, so many coaches tell me that they're frustrated because their content isn't leading to clients and they're posting a lot. But when I look at their content, I can see why. And it's the way that they structure their content. And the reason I've used this strong language and I've said fatal is it's fatal to your business if you don't get this right. So these mistakes can literally put people off and can stop people wanting to help, wanting to work with you and be helped, which is why I want you to avoid these mistakes and help you fix this up as soon as possible, because I see it all the time. I see it all the time when I'm looking at social media and when I'm looking at email subject lines and blogs and what people are doing. There are certain ingredients that need to be in your content, and there are certain things that we need to make sure are not in your content. So let's unpack these. When you understand this, it can almost seem like magic. Once you start embodying this, once you start developing this skill, it can almost seem like, wow, this is like night and day. But it's not magic. It's just knowing how to make your content compelling. And if you want your words to really impact people, you need to know how to create content that moves people, that inspires action. Otherwise, it's just adding to the noise, right? We don't want to just add to all the information that's already out there. We want to make sure that our content is actually causing change. So if you're posting on social media and it's not getting you enough clients, if you're really good at what you do, but you're not sure exactly how to get that value out to other people, to communicate that so that people get it, and if you're frustrated that all the effort that you're putting in is not leading to people reaching out and wanting to work with you, it could be one of these mistakes. And I know that that can be really disheartening when you're spending a lot of time creating content and it's not working. So welcome those of you who are joining us live. Can you just pop a hashtag live in there if you're joining us live? So great to see you here. Thank you for being here live and investing into your business and learning about how to solve some of these problems and avoid some of these mistakes. So if you haven't already, grab a pen and paper and make some notes, because I am going to be sharing some PowerPoints so that you can really see and this can come to life. So you want to write these down so that you remember them. All right, the first thing when it comes to the 7 fatal content structure mistakes, the first mistake that people make is failing to get attention. Write that down, failing to get attention. There are 2 things when it comes to attention. We want to gain attention and we want to maintain attention. Gain and maintain. So first of all, we've got to grab attention, then we've got to keep them. We've got to keep them reading all the way through. We've got to keep them watching the video all the way through. So the way that we gain attention initially is by making sure that we speak to people's instincts. When people are scrolling on their phone, they are using the base of their brain known as the hindbrain, or the primal part of the brain, the lizard brain, the croc brain, the reptilian brain, the instinct. That is what's operating. It's not the prefrontal cortex, which is the logic, the executive functioning. It's the hindbrain. So people are scrolling, it's mostly subconscious. We're not rationally making decisions. So I spoke about it in my workshop recently, where we've got to make sure that we avoid instinct resistors. And instinct resistors are those things that raise resistance in our instincts at our primal level and make us scroll by. So some instinct resistors include boredom, anything that's boring. If it's too boring, if it's, I've heard that before, if it's too same, if it's too vanilla, if it's not intriguing enough, people will go past it. People will avoid complication. So if you ask too many questions at the start, if you make it too long, if your sentence is really long and you have to, and the person, the reader or the viewer has to really think about it, it's too complicated and they'll just like, I'm out, right? We're dealing with the instinct. It's very much survival mode. Is this interesting? Can I say a quick yes? So we want very short, snappy, almost like we're speaking to like a 12-year-old or a 10-year-old. Are you this? Do you feel this? Do you want this? You know, so people are quick, easy, yes, grabbing attention, making sure that it's not fearful. So we can evoke fear by trying to go offside with someone. We want to make sure that we are on their side. We're joining the conversation that they're having in their head. We're showing, hey, I get you. And we speak their language. When we speak people's language and they feel very comfortable, very safe, then it lowers that fear of, oh, what's she going to try and convince me about? What's she going to try and get me, you know, shifting my mind about? People want to feel like, hey, I totally get you. I'm in your world. I know how to speak your language. I've journeyed it before. So suspicion, fear, raising any fear in their mind, any kind of doubt in their mind that you don't know what you're talking about, that you're not professional, that you're inexperienced, that you're amateur, all of those things are going to stop people, going to stop you grabbing people's attention. The second mistake people make is failing to build tension. So our content needs to be a good mixture between creating tension and relieving tension. We need to have a mixture of showing them, hey, I can relieve your tension. I can show you a solution to your problem. I can start getting you to feel that there is hope for you, encouragement, support. I get you. I can help you. I can give you some relief to your problem by shining a light, getting you to look at something differently, shifting your perspective. That is valuable. But we also need to make sure that there's sufficient tension so that someone actually feels something in their body. And it's not that we push a knife in and like turn the knife. It's that we actually get people, like we evoke some emotion in people. We turn up their desire to want to change. We turn up their desire that already exists in their body, that desire that they have for something. We turn it up, we dial it up. I call it dialing up the desire, where we build that tension to encourage people to want to actually make some changes to improve their life, to improve the quality of their life. And that's what our content needs to do. If it doesn't do that, then we're just reaching them at a logical level. It's too dry, it's too rational, it's not emotional enough. The third mistake people make is ignoring the trust factor. What often happens is that people forget that people don't see the world the way you see the world. We've got to earn trust. It's time that builds trust. So if you are jumping on a video and people don't really know you, you've got to build that trust factor. You've got to remind them of why they can trust you. So we've got to be able to share evidence and experience and education. I call them the 3 E's, the evidence that you can be trusted. We've got to give evidence. We've got to give proof. We can't just say, hey, trust me. How do you feel when you go to a bar and you're standing at the bar and a stranger comes up to you and starts talking to you and goes, just, oh, hey, trust me. Do you trust them just because they say, trust me? No. So we've got to give evidence. We've got to give proof. That calms the brain when people feel that, hey, she knows what she's talking about. She's giving me facts and stats and she's backing it up with experience, talking about clients that you've worked with and helped, and then educating them on them learning something new, learning something that they didn't know before, or seeing something in a different way. That's building up that trust factor. And depending where your content is being delivered, if you're delivering your content on a podcast or in a summit or to a brand new audience, someone else's audience, you've got to make sure that you build that trust even more. I don't constantly give you all my experience in my Facebook group because you're already inside a warm community. So it depends on the context of where you're showing up, but you've always got to be maintaining that trust. The fourth mistake people make, is forgetting to be human. Forgetting to be human. People do business with people that they like, people that they feel good with, people that make them smile, people that encourage them and support them and inspire them and get them thinking differently and being real. If we are not showing up in a way that we are able to be ourselves and be our best selves, be our most professional, best version of the fullness of who we are as our best self, but still our best self. We can still show our vulnerability. We can still show our realness, obviously be professional for the sake of your audience, show up in a way that's going to serve them, make sure it's always coming from an audience-centric perspective. But remember to be real. Remember to, show that you've struggled with things, that you do still struggle with things. Show that you are a real human being. You're not this corporate executive speaking person that sounds clinical, that doesn't crack a joke, or I don't know, just, is so concerned by what people think. I was in salsa. I'm doing salsa lessons at the moment with my partner, and we were in a dance class on Monday where the partners move around. So the leaders move around the group, and pretty much every guy that I stood with was so serious and so nervous. And I just try to smile and try to help them relax, because I've done salsa quite a bit before. These are brand new beginners. But it was almost like they were a little bit robotic. They were so nervous that they forgot to just be a normal human being, like, hey, this is cool, how are you going? It was almost this very stiff, and that's what happens when we're very self-conscious. So the more that we show up, the more that we can be real and just share from our heart, the more people will connect with us. Number 5 is not providing enough value. Not providing enough value. I remember people used to teach us back in the day, be careful what you give away. Don't give too much away. Remember when people used to sell their ebooks? That hardly ever happens anymore. The amount of value that we need to give now to be competitive, to stand out online, is huge. And I think that's a beautiful thing, because it means that more and more people are being helped. But some people are so guarded with not giving too much away that they're not being generous. I find that the more I give away, the more clients I get, the more value I provide. I know that a lot of people turn up to events and they sit through so much fluff, so much of the speaker's personal stories and so many testimonials. And it just becomes like, dude, I've written one line of notes. Like, you're giving me nothing. I'm trying to dig for the gold, and there's nothing here for me. So we want to be known. We want to have a reputation as someone who gives plenty of value, someone that's generous, someone that helps out so many people, whether they are going to become a paying client or not. I'm going to keep showing up for my communities, whether people buy from me or not, because there's always people that buy from you if you're good at what you do. So I'm not worried about that. I don't have a scarcity mindset around that. So I will give and give and give and give. But I know that I need to work with someone for them to get their ultimate result. People need support. People need personalized, expert eyes on their business, that they're not going to make it just by watching my free videos. It's just the reality. So I can just let go and just trust that the right people, they want more help and more support. The next mistake people make is that they miss the curiosity factor. Missing the curiosity factor. They forget to add curiosity. So we show up, we provide lots of value, we get attention, we build tension, We make sure that we are building that trust factor. We make sure that we're giving plenty of great education, but we also need to leave some curiosity. You don't want to say, hey, I'm sharing everything I know about XYZ, because someone thinks, oh, well, there's nothing more to learn. There's no point working with her because she's just taught me everything she knows. So we've always got to open loops in people's minds. We open the loop. It's like how Netflix does it, and it keeps you going, right? It keeps you watching that next episode because you're like, oh, what's going to happen? You know, think of a show that you watch on Netflix where you just have to watch the next one because they're so good at opening that loop in your brain. Our brain is designed to want to close the loop. It's why you always have when you've got lots to do and you haven't got a list written down, your brain goes at 1,000,000 miles an hour, like, don't forget to pick up that birthday card, don't forget to ring your mom, you know, all those, your brain is constantly trying to close loops. It's not till you do that task that you get that relief of tension. So we want to add that curiosity in our content as well, where we talk about other things that we've got. We maybe dive deep on one little section. Like, for example, these 7 fatal content structure mistakes are one little section out of my content module that I teach my clients. And there's multiple lessons that sit within that module, and I'm just teaching this one little piece of it. So this isn't my whole content strategy, but no way. I could talk to you for 6 months about what needs to go into your content. This is just a little piece. So we only want to just give little pieces, give people a taster of what it's like to work with you, and make sure that we leave that curiosity there for the rest of it. So I just opened that loop for you just then. You might have noticed that. All right, number seven, the mistake people make is not moving people along the client journey. Your potential clients are on a journey towards you. So we need to move people along the client journey. We need to move people from being a stranger to becoming a lead, to becoming a client. And that is a journey from cold to hot, from cold, moving through to warmer. Remember that game when you were a kid, lukewarm, getting cold, getting hot? Was it hide and seek where we used to do that? And then getting warm, and then you find them. It's the same thing. So we need to move people along the buyer's journey. Your content strategy is a series of pieces of content that do that. You think you've got your offer, you've got your program that you want to sell, or your service, and your content, every content piece is chipping away at the limiting beliefs or the resistance or the blocks people have to taking action, building trust, nurturing, supporting until they become a client. So every piece of content should move them along the client journey. And so therefore, they should have a call to action. If your content doesn't have a call to action, it could be just, hey, engage with this post. Hey, write a comment. Hey, reach out. Hey, here's a free resource. Hey, come to my free event. If it doesn't have anything, if it's just, I hope this got you thinking, what's the point? You know, we're just contributing to all the noise and the theory out there. People want practical, tangible action steps. So invite them to take an action, invite them to move and not be a passive consumer of your content. This is obviously one little piece that is part of the plethora of things that I do with my clients. What I do predominantly with my clients is help them to communicate their value and turn their content into clients. We do this through our written content and our spoken content. We do this through a series of content pieces. We also do it through having an event, having a presentation, and also through making sure that we have systems set up that we can take people from social media into our world and nurture people, build that trust, and look after people, and the right people will become a client. This is what I help people with day in, day out. I have a signature program called the Client Attraction Accelerator Program. But what I decided to do, and I shared this last night for the very first time, I launched this offer. I'm super excited about it because I know some of you just need an intense environment where we go in and we get this done and we plan out your content strategy in a way that's going to get you clients through your strategy. So I decided to create like a smaller little offer, which is a taste of the Client Attraction Accelerator program, which is 12 weeks. It's a 30-day program. And I've called it the Client Attraction Intensive. And basically what it is me working with you for 30 days, really up close and personal, and looking at everything you're doing and making it over, fixing it up, tweaking it, and getting it out there in a way that converts. It's one thing to attract clients, it's one thing to build trust, but it's the conversion piece that a lot of people are missing. So if you'd like to work with me to help you do this, to help me make sure that your content is going to convert into clients, I'd love to invite you to have a look at the Client Attraction Intensive. It's an organic program. We're just doing organic content where we work together to attract your ideal clients in 30 days. It's for you if you want to attract more of the right leads, build trust with your audience, and convert those leads into clients. I created it because most clients struggle to grow their audience online. Most coaches can't consistently convert their content into clients, and they need that personalized help. So what we're working on over the 4 weeks is we make sure that your offer is optimized, and we build out a compelling content plan. We have a 30-day conversion campaign where I'm working very closely with you to make sure that we're leading people into this offer, and that you're getting everything you need to give it the highest possible chance of conversion. It's basically a repeatable system for getting clients on demand. So if this is something that you're interested in, just reach out to me. Just send me a DM with the word intensive. That's the name of the program, Client Attraction Intensive. Drop me the word DM me the word intensive, and I'll share with you all the details, how you can check it out. I've also got some really awesome bonuses in there where I'll be making over all of your content, like basically helping you fix it all up and reviewing everything that you're doing, plug in all the gaps, helping you set up your messaging in a way that you're going to attract really awesome clients to yourself. There's a whole support package with one-on-one time with me. So just write the word intensive in the comments if you're interested, and I'll just flick you a message or DM me the word intensive if you're interested. Thank you for being here live. I hope those 7 mistakes have been really thought-provoking for you. I'd love to know what stood out to you in this session tonight. Like, what jumped out to you? What was the most interesting? What did you enjoy about it? That's just a little gift that you can give back to me for, to say thank you, basically, if you'd like to, because that helps kind of push this out and for more people to see it if you're engaging in the comments. I really appreciate it. And I'm also really, really interested to know, out of that, what was the most helpful. So if you're interested in the intensive, drop the word intensive. Otherwise, drop in here what was most helpful for you, or what stood out to you. And I always reply to every comment that I receive. So thank you for being here live. Thank you for watching the replay. If you're watching the replay, until we meet again, keep shining, keep showing up, keep sharing, because the world is waiting for your words. Big love. Bye for now.